Hi everyone, Crystal here from Leetcode. In today's videos, we are going to tackle one of the most popular Leetcode problems, best time to buy and sell stock. I will show you how to break down these problems, approach it step by step. First, let's start by reading and understanding the problem statement. You are given an array price, with price at I is the price of the given stock on the day I. You want to maximize your profit by choosing a single day to buy one stock and choosing a different day in the future to sell that stock. Return the maximum profit you can achieve from these transactions. If you cannot achieve any profit, return 0. And in the interview settings, the interviewers will expect you to ask them some questions, at least to clarify the problems. So the first question I have in here is, can you buy and sell on the same day? It's already highlighted for us here, thus we need to have a different days in the future. The second question I have is there only one transaction allowed or multiple transactions? So as you see in here, in the example 1 here, let's have buy on day 2 and then sell on day 5. Its calculate profit is 5, but if we calculate have multiple transactions, then you can buy on day 2 and sell on the next day, then you make profit at 4, and then continue buying on day 4 here, and then selling on the next day. Thus make profit of 3, and then 4 plus 3 would be 7. But in here, the output is only 5, so it means that we only allow one transactions. And the last question I have is, can the price go down over time, and what should we return in that case? If the price go down over time, then it's kind of similar to example 2 here. So you can see the day 1 is have the highest number is 7, and then it's continue decrease. So as there's no transactions will be done to maximize the profit, so the output is 0. So to recap, from the problem statement, it is clear that you can only buy and sell once, and if there's no profit, then you can just return 0. So understand the problem at this level help ensures we address own case in the solutions. So the third step we have is matching the problems with the data structures or a common pattern. Now let's think about how to approach these problems with a common pattern that you already learned in the past. So from the statement here, we can see in the first line it said that it gives us array. So array here give me to think about like sliding window or two-parter approach. But in here it also give us like choosing a single day and then choosing another day. So it give me a vibe of sliding window more than two-parters, since we need to minimum the price to buy the stock at the lowest price seen so far. Return statement in here, we see the keyword is maximum profit. When it's come to maximum keyword, I usually think about like dynamic programming, especially when we want to keep track of the smallest price and calculate the potential profit at each step by comparing the current price with the smallest price that we've seen so far. In these problems, I think it's a best example for using one-pass iterations with dynamic programming to track a minimum price and then maximize the profit. So we move on to the next step, is laying out our solutions. So let's see an example here. So in the example 1, we have 7, 1, 5, 3, 6, 4. So first, we will need to have a variable, mean price. With this mean price, we want to track the lowest price that we have seen. In order to track the lowest price, we want to assign it to a really large number. I have the example here. I would use 99, which is larger than all the prices we have. And then we will have another variable, max profit. This max profit will track the highest profit that we can achieve it. So in here, we want to assign it to the low number at first. After we have these two variables, we will do a for loop, go through all the elements inside the price array. In the first index, we have the current price is 7. We will compare it with the mean price. If the current price is smaller than mean price, then we will update the mean price. So in here, 7 is smaller than 99, so we update it to become 7. And then we will check what is current profit we already make here. So we will have the current price minus the mean price as we have now. So 7 minus 7 is 0. And then we want to compare this profit we already have here with the max profit. So compare 0 to 0 is kind of like even out. So we didn't make any profit yet, we not update the max profit here. And then let's move on to next day. Next day we will have the price is 1, and then we will check whether the current price is smaller than the mean price. So in here it did smaller, so we update it again, so 1 here. And then for maximum profit, we know that 1 minus 1 is also 0, so we also not update the max profit. Then we move to the next day. So in here, the next day price is 5. We will compare with the mean price. So the mean price in here, 5 is not smaller than 1. Then we will not update the mean price anymore. So in here, we calculate the profit. So the profit between the current price and the mean price that we have is 4. And then as it's larger than the max profit, so we will update the max profit to 4. So let's continue to the next day. So the next day we have with the price is 3, as it's not smaller than the mean prices we have. So we will skip updating the mean price. And then the profit in here, 3 minus 1 is 2. But 2 is not larger than the max profits that we already have here. So we not update the max profit. Let's move on to the next day. So the next day in here we have price is 6. So 6 is larger than 1, so we not update the mean price. But we calculate the profit in here. So 6 minus 1 is 5. So 5 is larger than the max profit here. So we will update here to 5. So after we have 5 here, so let's move on to the last day here. So last day we have the price is 4. So 4 is not larger than mean price, so we continue. So the profit in here is 4 minus 1 is 3, but 3 is not larger than max profit, so we will skip that. So by the end, you know that we will have the max profit here. We can just return max profit right away. So return 5 in this case. Let's work on this example to see whether this one will return 0 or not. So in this example, we still will have these two variables. So at first, let's assign this one to 99 to make it really large, and then max profit as 0. In here, we will start the for loop again. So the first day will be 7. We have to update the mean price is 7. And then 7 minus the current price is 7. So the max profit is not changing since it's always 0. And then we go on to the next day. The next day is 6. So we update the mean price to become 6. And then 6 minus 6 for the profit. So the max profit is not changing as well. Then we move to the next day. So this one is 4. And then the max profit is not changing because the profit is also 0. And then we move to the next day. Here we have 3 as a price. So we update the mean price. And then the max profits will stay the same, since 3 minus 3 is also 0. And then the last day we have is 1. 1 smaller than 3, so we update this one as well. So the mean price currently is 1. And then the current price minus the mean price is also 0, so max profit is not changing. By the end, we will probably just return 0 in this case. So from this length, we know that both the edge case here and the normal case here is return the correct answer for us, so we know that this solution will work. So after we have this calculate plan out already, you should walk through this one step by step like this in your interview setting. So in here, I will comment this one out, and then we will start coding this out. And in here, I will write in Java, but I also have the code in Python and JavaScript down in the descriptions, so you can check it out if you're not familiar with Java. So let's get started here. So we create integers mean price here. And then we want to assign to a really large number. So we can just do integer dot max value here. Okay, and then we also have the max profit. So max profit we assign to 0. And then we will also, let's move this down a little bit. We will have a for loop. So in this for loop, we will go through the price. We will have here is at I as 0. I is smaller than the price dot length. And then I++ in this case. So next part in here we will have is we will get the current price. So the current price here we would have is price at I. So once we have the current price, we will check if this current price is smaller than the mean price or not. So whether this one is smaller than mean price. So if it's smaller, then we will update the mean price to be the current prices we have. Current price like this. And then in here, we will calculate the profit. So we will have the current price minus the mean price. So after we have the profit, then we will check if this profit is larger than the max profit that we have achieved before. So in here, if it's larger, then we will update the max profit equal to the profit. Okay, by the end, you know that we have the max profit or in here already. So just return max profit here. This is all the code for this coding problems. Move on to the next step we will have is we will test out our solutions. In the coding interview, some interview doesn't have the IDEs that we can run the code on. The best way you can do it is to work through this coding piece here, step by step like what I did in the planning step. Go through 1 or 2 examples here to find out is there anything not working in your code. But in here, since we already have the IDE that we can run the code on, so let's do it here. Okay, so we have both the case is accepted now. Let's submit it to make sure everything looks good. So we have accepted submissions. For this last step, we would do is we have to analyze the time and space complexity. So the time complexity in here is O of n because we have a for loop in here and it will go through elements inside the price array. And we only traverse the array once, so it makes it a linear time solutions. And then for the space complexities, since we only have these 2 variables, so it would be O of 1 for space. So this ensures our solutions is best time and space complexity. And that is how you solve the best time to buy and sell stock problems. By breaking down the problem in clear steps, identify the common pattern, and testing each case, you will be able to approach problems like this with confidence in your coding interview. And I want to show you something here. So whenever I finish a problem, I will track it with the Leetcode mate here. So you can just enter a problem like this. So I will paste in the name here. And then for the time start and time end, I think I did it for like 30 minutes ago, so I will change it to be 30. And then time stop is what we already have here. And then for the category, we know that in here we are using some kind of like dynamic programming. We can choose dynamic programming here. You can choose the difficulties by yourself here. For some people this is really easy problems, but some people it is hard problems, so you can choose the difficulties from what you're feeling. Yeah, and after this one, you can write a tip for yourself here. For example, I would write in here is maximum keyword leading to DP, dynamic programming, and then price at something can be kind of like sliding window. So just write you some note in here, so in the future you don't have to do all the problems, but you will kind of like have some ideas about what the problem is and how to solve it. And then you can just add the problem here. And then congrats, you finished these problems. Yep, and then in here I did 4 problems in this week and it's taken me like 2 hours. And then in here, this is your practice lane. So in here you can see there's a category here, dynamic programming. You will have the day until the next practice. So you will have like 21 days to continue practice this one. This number will changing depend on how easy or difficult the problem for you. And then in here you can also click on practice now to see the recommended problem for you to do next. So in here the next problem for you to do next is climbing stair. It also have difficulty is easy and frequency is pretty high. In here you can view your problem. You can start working these problems as well. Everything is covered preview for you. You can just add in your time start and time end here when you start working on these problems. But for now, just let's cancel it. And then is here you can see what is your difficulties is, what categories you practice the most, and here's this tracking on your problems. If you found this video helpful, be sure to check out Leetcode Mate website at the links down in the description for more personalized problems recommendation and coding tips. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more coding interview solutions. Thank you for watching and best of luck in your next interview.